Well, hello there, and thank you so much for joining us today on the Best of Both Worlds. We have Georgia Stull with us, so stay tuned. Today we have a special guest, Georgia Stull, and she's been with us before, so we're so excited to see what she's going to do today.
Well, before that, I have a small gift for you.
This is awesome. First time I've ever had a gift on the show. Let's see what it is. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. The coloring book.
Right.
And the pencils.
Right, it's all the rage. And guess what?
What?
We're going to do one in fabric because that's what we love is fabric.
That is an awesome idea.
That's right.
I can't wait. Awesome.
I'm excited to show you how simple it is, whether you want to do a coloring book for children or a coloring book for adults. Doesn't matter. You can make them both on your Statler or hand-guided.
Let's get started.
All right.
Here's a picture of the project that Georgia is going to show us today. I love this idea, and I can see doing this even for my grandkids, or me, you know,
absolutely.
I can do it with them. So,
and I just used a cotton fabric so that you can use crayons, markers, whatever it is you want to use, whatever kinds of designs. I put a colorful fabric on the back. You could actually maybe put the white on the other side and do both sides, but I thought people would want to just cut their picture out. And so to start the project, I really recommend, you notice that I have the framework around it, and that'll prevent raveling. And so I will show you very quickly in standalone mode again how you can create that frame so that it won't ravel on anybody.
okay, let's do it.
All right. I think it's easier if you create a framework around the outside edges because that will prevent it from raveling, and it's so easy to do. Remember before I like to use geometric square, and there are two geometric squares. One has the sharp corners. This one is actually the soft corners, and I'm going to select that. I want it to be a 10-inch, maybe 12-inch. It doesn't really matter. Let's just make this one 10 inches. I change the height. The width automatically changes to 10 inches. So when I click OK, I will have a square on the screen that is 10 inches by 10 inches. Now, to create multiple squares, it's very easy. If I right-click, I have a menu item called Echo Pattern, and I'm going to take echo spacing, and I'm going to change my echo spacing to 0.05. That makes it very nice and tight, and I'm going to place 3 echoes. Oops, I lost that right there. Did you see if you let it slip, you'll lose it. I'm going to place 3
Just get it up on the screen again, then start.
I'm going to echo the pattern by selecting it in the right-click menu, 0.05 spacing, change the numbers to 3, and place echo patterns. And very quickly, I have 3 repeats, and let's just go ahead and repeat 3 more. You notice the last one is highlighted, and those numbers are still in there. So just like that, I have 3 repeats. Now, the problem is I have 6 individual lines, and if I stitch these like this, I will have a tie-off at each line. And I don't really want that. I want it to run continuously. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the first thing I want to do is select Set Sew Order to see which direction the patterns are running. And if you look at the small arrows, I can tell all the patterns are moving to the right, and that's kind of important. Now I'm going to right-click to get out of that, and I'm going to choose the first circle, or square, excuse me, and I'm going to choose the feature of nodes. That's the little pink and turquoise circle options here. And you'll notice that I can get a node and I can move the pattern piece. Here's the next one, and I'm going to take this one down, and I'm going to place this one up. And I'm going to choose E for end point snap, E on my keyboard. And just like that, it will connect up. Go down to the next row. And that's not the one I wanted to snap. I have to turn E off and pull this one down. And now I can put my E back on and snap it up. Grab the next one. I'm going to take that E off so it doesn't grab the wrong one. E up. Take the E off, bring this one down, this one up. And what I'm creating is actually a spiral. And it will sew continuously with no tie-offs until the very end. And I want to take my end snap off, and I'm actually going to line this bottom up, and I'm going to line this top up so that, let's look at the whole thing, and you'll see it looks nice and continuous. And if you want to save this frame to use again, simply select all the patterns on the screen, right-click, and export the pattern to a CSQ. And I've already done that. You get your menu to write the name of your pattern, which in my case, I wrote coloring book outline. And you tell it where you want to save it. And I'm going to just save it to my jump drive and save. And you'll notice when you do that, it puts it right at the top of your pattern preview list, and then you can use it freely. I can delete the one on the screen. Now that I have the coloring book outline created, it's pretty simple to get it on the CAD screen to match what I need on the quilt. I'm going to choose my coloring book outline, and I'm going to choose repeat patterns. I definitely need 2 repeats, one for each side of the page, and I don't have to worry about the size, but I do have to worry about the horizontal spacing. I want the coloring book pages to be about 2 inches, so that's 2 plus in horizontal spacing, and that allows the person to be able to cut the pages out that they can color them separate from the book. And I'm going to put it on the screen. Now, it's not exactly in the place I need to be, but I can do it, relocate it quite easily. Select the patterns, right-click, and go to relocate, shift selected to one point. The point I want is the dead center. This little wedge right here is dead center top, so click that point on the CAD screen. And now I want to move my head to the center of the quilt, right on my fold line of that fabric, and click OK. And just like that, my 2 pattern pieces that will outline my quilt pages, my coloring book pages, are in place. Okay, I need to create my visual marker of where my space is, so I have selected my boundary icon, and I'm merely going just inside my line. You don't have to be particularly neat and crazy about this, but do make sure you're inside the line because you don't want your design to go outside into your perimeter. So I'm just going around it just like that. Hit stop, and I have a visual marker of the space that I need to fill. I'm going to go over to the computer screen. I'm going to choose a pattern. It's called Valentine Bear, and it's by Christy Dillon. And I'm simply going to choose repeat patterns and put it on the screen. I don't really care if it's in the right place, because now I'm going to take it and tuck it inside of my boundary, and it's ready to quilt. Choose quilt. We'll pull up that bobbin thread, and bingo bango, we are in gear. Now I'm ready to quilt. All I have to do is go to that quilt icon, hit select. The machine will move into position. And here we go. And this is made to sew continuously so that we don't have stops and starts, but it will certainly prevent the fabric from raveling if it gets handled and as a child colors the pages. makes the perfect palette for a quilting design, whether it's hand-guided or computer-aided. Press OK and start the next one. And just like that, we have both of our outlines for our coloring book page. And now it's time to put a design. I'm going to do a digital design on the right side. And I need to mark my boundary. Again, a boundary is a visual marker of the space I have to fill. So I have selected my boundary icon, and I'm merely going just inside my line. You don't have to be particularly neat and crazy about this, but do make sure you're inside the line because you don't want your design to go outside into your perimeter. So I'm just going around it just like that. Hit stop, and I have a visual marker of the space that I need to fill. I'm going to go over to the computer screen. I'm going to choose a pattern. It's called Valentine Bear, and it's by Christy Dillon. And I'm simply going to choose repeat patterns and put it on the screen. I don't really care if it's in the right place, because now I'm going to take it and tuck it inside of my boundary. And it's ready to quilt. Choose quilt. We'll pull up that bobbin thread, and bingo bango, we are in gear. There we go, our design is complete.
That is just as cute as it can be. I can see my 5-year-old granddaughter coloring that and loving it. And I can see, you know, I have done birds and butterflies and things like that. It'd be really fun to do freehand.
That's right. Why don't you show us how to do that?
Well,
that would be great.
That's a challenge. I will. Okay,
right.
I'll do a heart.
All right.
Since it's February.
Perfect.
I've secured my thread, and I'm using the Magnifico Superior thread. Absolutely love it. I'm going to do a stylized heart, and I'm sewing in constant. Okay, we're good there. I'm going to cut my thread. See, your hearts don't have to be perfect. I think it was the Wizard of Oz that said they'll never be perfect until they're made unbreakable. How'd I remember that? I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to do a teardrop up here, and I'm going to come in with a curl and another curl, kind of to fill in that space. And I'll come around here like this. These are just our regular feathers. And I'm going to echo them again, so I'm not worried if I don't have that echo exactly on that feather. Then I'll get them a little bit smaller here. And I'm going to echo them again. And I'm going to come out with some more curls. I love curls. And I'm also filling in this space. And notice that the curls can be right on top of themselves. It's all right. And if I get close to the edge like that, then I'll just come on the inside of that. So I'll come over here and I'll do a couple more curls. I'm going to turn my speed up a little bit more. And I think on this side, I'm going to do a wild fern. And this fern can have a lot of little forks out there. And again, I may come in even with a stylized curl. I'm thinking in terms of coloring too, how fun this would be to color. Oh, I love these ferns. They just flow. You know, how can you have something that you love doing so much? I don't know. I'm going to come in here like this now with one. And again, these are the stacked feathers. I'm doing this one-handed so I can keep my fingers out of the camera. Kind of come down here. I'm going to come all the way back here and stack this side up this way. Then I'm going to turn down my speed and I'm going to finish this up on this side with one flat side and then round, one flat side and round, one flat side and round. So I have some nice circles. Those would be great to color. And come down with a ribbon. Remember, you swing out on the hillside. So swing out on the hill, swing out on the heel, maybe one more ribbon down here. I kind of filled in the whole space, and that will be so fun to color. Oh, I can't leave that with nothing on it. Oh, in fact, let's make it into an Indian feather. Here we go. Almost finished here. And I will echo that a couple of times. Oh, that just topped it off. Oh, I have one more thing. I can't leave these naked feathers here. You know, I do need to turn this up a little bit. I know constant scares some of you, but oh boy, you should just sew in it for a little while and you won't be scared anymore. Let's just do that much. There we go. What do you think, Georgia?
I think it's gorgeous. And how much fun that texture will be to color.
Ooh, yes. That's my favorite part. This was so fun. And I'm going to do one of these.
All right.
For sure. Another project. Thank you for all this extra work. And you better do one too. And thank you again for coming. Will you come back again?
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. See you next time. Be sure to tune in.